celebrating it like no man's business. Colonial Masters, they said to hell with you. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. My apologies, my screen wasn't on. All right then, so moving on straight to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world as well, and this time round going straight to Ghana. What is happening there as well? Well, one of the presidential aspirants for the MPP, Olayomi Hrh, has now resigned his membership of the ruling government or the party, the ruling party. Okay, so it said Olayomi Hrh is has decided to quit. But the regional chairman, that's the essential regional chairman of the MPP, says that Olayomi Hrh is ungrateful character. That's what going to me saying. But lots more going to be coming your way from there. What is the reaction? That give put some wind in the sails of that of the opposition party now. Well, so that they can say, you know what, we're going to whip them, because if their front is divided, then that's where we're going. Now, when it comes to other stories making the rounds this morning, now Fuel Depot blast kills 20 as thousands flee Karabakh, and then Ukraine young lead their elders in one army unit. For Ukrainian troops, life on the front line is far from easy, but they are doing their best. The captain jailed after fatal river tour boat crash, and then Thailand jails lawyer who called for royal reforms. Why should he be jailed? He's calling for that. If you don't agree to that, do something about it. Russia seeks to rejoin U.S. Human Rights Council. Now, it's got an interesting one, but it's not coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, when it comes to the UK, discrimination for being gay, not enough for asylum, Braverman is saying. You know, interestingly, Braverman is not, should I say Caucasian, or it's not an indigent, right? But now she finds herself in that position, and the way that she's taunting and things that she's saying and going about, my goodness. I say it all the time. If you want a black person or a minority to want the minority to be controlled, get a minority person to rule or lord it over them, and you see how they'll be controlled. And that's exactly what she is doing. When she came into the country, how did she come? If the father's father or whatever, whether it's second generation or third generation, how did they come in? And again, when it comes to the West as well, the advanced countries as well, the foreign policies are what is causing lots of these things that is happening. But do they talk about that? No. But while she's on tour, she's in the US making all that noise. Well. I rest my case. I'm not going to say any further. Now, water firms forced to pay back 114 million to customers, and scrapping HS2 link will be very stupid, says ex-rail chief. Well, he's used the word that I've been trying not to be using. Attempt murder arrest after man shot in his car. 4 men are arrested on suspicion of attempted murder after a man was shot in Cross-Margin. All right then. So this and a lot more going to be coming your way from Starr Radio. Okay, stay tuned. Don't you go away whilst we bring you some lots more of the program this morning. Stay tuned. Enjoy this music, and that is from Christopher Martin. And I'll be with you.
Araba iko máa gbọ́dọ̀ wó. Araba ni egbọ́dọ̀ wó lọ́wọ́. Araba iko máa gbọ́dọ̀ wó. gbé.
Araba ní egudo wó láwùjọ.
Ìjì ayé kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ gbé lọ.
Araba ní egudo wó láwùjọ.
Ìtú ayé kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ pa ó.
Araba ní egudo wó láwùjọ.
Kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò kò nílé wò é. Ọlọ́gbọ́n ayé o ẹ̀sùn mọ́ bí. Olóyè ayé ẹ má bá mi ká lọ. Ọ̀fọ̀ ìgbéyàwó ọ̀rọ̀ yìí lẹ́nu mi. Mo ní igi là ń bẹ nígbò ìgbò. Igbó ìmá mi wò lọ. Araba yìí wá ń gbìyànjú kò dọ́mọ kó wà lárẹ́rẹ́ lọ. Igi ńlá iyọ̀ wà lóhun tó máa fi ṣàràbà lóore. Oníwíwó ní káràbà ìlọ́wọ́ láwùjọ igi. Onílé wò é kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò.
Araba ní egudo wó láwùjọ.
Ṣọ́dá àbáhùn sọ Fúlàní òyìnbó ṣe ń pa wá. Ṣó wá sùn ọkọ̀ Mádéyẹmọ́ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ kó jáwọ́ ní. Àwọn àgbààgbà ikọ̀ wọn kò tíra mú odò sí wa kó wà láyé rẹ̀ lọ. Ó máa ṣe òye kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò.
Araba ní egudo wó láwùjọ.
Èrò bá mi kọ́ mọ́dé mọ́. Èmi kí ọmọ yìnyọ ilẹ̀ akíkanjú ọkùnrin ogun. Èrò bá mi kọ́ mọ́ wọn ní gbọ́ ọmọ rẹ̀. Iná máa rógún màmá ti di pẹ̀lẹ́ ọmọ bàbá rógún màmá ṣojo. Sunday ẹ̀yẹ tó má ṣe bọ́ kí yẹn ò sí ní gbọ́mọ́. Òrìṣà tí ó ṣe bọ́kọ̀ Mádéyẹmọ́ ni ṣebí yẹn ò kọ́mọ́ lágbẹ̀dẹ. Ẹ̀bà lè jẹ́ ẹ̀bọ̀nà jẹ́. Adéyẹmí yóò máa sọ kọ̀ọ̀kan láì dáa. Kìkì orí tó máa kọ́ ni wípé Yorùbá nation yìí ló going back kìíní. Ẹ̀dá bí rẹ̀ ṣọ̀wọ́n òye kó máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò. Kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò kò nílé wò é. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ ká rórí. Ọjọ́ wo ni wọ́n dalẹ̀ kí.
Okay, listen to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time down to 6 minutes past the top of the hour. We should have Mr. Olayomi Hrh joining us in a moment. But this afternoon, exactly at 1:30, we'll be having BB Clement on BB Means Business. Let me say good morning to Gani Olayede. Yes, say good morning, good morning to you, Gani. I hope you are doing very, very well. Thank God Nigeria has not happened to you as we saw on this platform.
I will sing of the goodness of God.
But share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages, Starr Radio UK.
It's running after me. Your goodness is running after.
Wow.
After me. With my life laid down, I surrender.
7 minutes past 11, I'm going to be crossing over straight to our North London studios where I've got my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Olayomi Hrh, who is all ready to fire on all cylinders, bringing you what is happening in Nigeria this morning. So just stay tuned. Don't even think of touching the dial. The goodness of God is running after us, isn't it? Okay. So we can see Mr. Olayomi Hrh. Another line coming through. Interesting. Okay, I don't get it. Yomi, there seems to be another line coming through. Okay, let me pick that one. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's see whether Yomi can even hear us. Hello, Yomi. Okay. What's happening? Okay, Yomi, just bear with us. Just bear with us.
I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Hi guys, this is your friend Hrh from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Vedasse.
Okay, welcome back to the program. Listen to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 9 minutes past the top of the hour. And I've got Mr. Olayomi Hrh, but let me see whether he can hear me. Yomi, can you hear me? Okay, quite interesting. Interesting one there. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let me do something. Yeah, let me do something. Okay, so can you hear me now? Yeah, I can hear you slightly. Let me see. I'm going to try to increase your volume. Can you hear me? Okay, interesting. All right then. Let's see. Can you hear me? Okay. Listen, just bear with us. Let's bear with us. Let's take a commercial break whilst we try to sort that out to get Yomi back on.
Hi guys, this is your friend Hrh from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Vedasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Well, welcome back to the program. Listen to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's see whether Yomi can hear us. Yomi, can you hear me? Wow. Yes, I seem to, but it's very low. Okay, go on, speak. Let me see. Yummy. Okay, listen. Just bear with us. Just bear with us whilst we try to check what the connectivity issue. Okay, listen, just bear with us. It looks like we can't get Yomi's sound. We can't get your sound. I don't know exactly. But let me acknowledge Anthony Adedeji and Abiodun Monday. Hey, thank you very much for joining us as well. While the technical team try to resolve whatever thing that is going on when it comes to Yomi's connectivity. Just bear with me. I'm going to do something. Let's see, because we do all sorts, the technical teams are trying to just work on something, but let's see what we can do about that as well. But the morning show comes away every weekday from exactly 10 o'clock, where we bring you everything that you need to know when it comes to all the news that is making the rounds in other parts of the world. But let's see whether we can have, Yomi can hear us. Hello, Yomi.
Well, I'm not sure if you can hear me back in the studio, Mr. Archie, but I can hear you from the other side, from North London, but I'm not sure if you can hear me. Okay, faintly.
Okay, I can hear you faintly. You're saying that you cannot hear me at all. You cannot hear me at all, and I'm quite worried. Let me see. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to switch to audio only so that we can get Ms. Olayomi Hrh to bring us the updates. So just bear with me whilst I do so. Listeners, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London on this Tuesday morning edition of the morning show. Stay tuned. Let's get Ms. Olayomi Hrh joining us audio-wise whilst the technical team work on it.
Hi guys, this is your friend Hrh from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Vedasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Okay, welcome back on Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's see whether Yomi can hear me now. Yomi, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, good. All right then, listeners, now we have Ms. Olayomi Hrh, so we're going to move on with the updates from Nigeria. But let me see his image as well. Okay. interesting one there. Okay, let's go on. Let's go on whilst I try to activate your image. How are you doing? And I know we've had a very busy morning. Let me put it that way.
Well, sometimes you have to do what they call a reset button, and that's exactly what Nigeria doesn't want to do. I'm doing very well. It's been a very beautiful morning after a very long, what we can call a night bus route journey from London Heathrow heading back to Trafalgar Square. I'll be telling you more about that, but that has literally means that I have to get back home just about 4 o'clock this morning, and it's just part of what we talk about, what we call economy of a country must run 24/7. Apart from that, I'm doing great. It's good to be back with you in the studio, and I say good morning to you, good morning to our listeners and viewers from around the globe, and also good morning to Frank and all the technical team.
Okay, while the technical team are trying to work on getting Yomi's image, just bear with us. So we have his image, a still image there, but we'll continue with the program. I'm glad you are doing very, very well. Thank God for that. Okay, so now let's, if you want to give listeners a bit of what you were talking about, doing, traveling from Heathrow to where you are and everything in the night. Let's just try to do the comparing it to how Nigeria, if somebody is traveling, the fact that even they are moving from one point to the other is quite scary. Yomi.
Well, you're quite right. I did arrive Heathrow. I was looking at the time. I went on the train because I had, some kind of engagement to do at the airport, but it was a very, very late one, and I knew my returning back home would be coming very late. So what I did first before leaving my house was to plot the journey. I decided to know what bus I need to connect with at the appropriate time from Heathrow and making it back home safely. And, like you said, when you travel in Nigeria, is one of the most scariest part is the safety. There's no safety. When I got to Heathrow, it was very quiet. As you can imagine, at that early hours, the last flight was arriving, and as many were still also heading into the airport, because the first flight check-in will be about 3:50 or about 3:30. As you know, Terminal 3 is one of the most busiest airports, and just like other airports as well. Many Nigerians also want an economy that works, but also you must factor the security of many of those that wants to come in. Nigeria could have been one of the best when it comes to studying in Africa. Many Africans will have loved to come to Nigeria, to Obafemi Awolowo, Nsukka, and even up to some of the universities as well in the northern part of Nigeria. But unfortunately, I don't think anybody wants to travel to a country where you are going to be kidnapped. I picked up my first night bus, and when we say the night bus, that literally means that the buses that runs from 12 midnight. I picked up the bus at exactly 4 minutes past 2 a.m. and the whole journey lasted an hour into Trafalgar Square. For those that know, the bus 9, that was going to Aldwych. I'm sure you know Aldwych is where most of we have our Supreme Court. We have a lot of lawyers and baristas in that area as well. But I came up just some few meters away from the Nigerian High Commission. Then I picked up the next night bus, which I will leave that for myself. But the most important thing is, you could get on the night bus and you could get some nuisance of individuals that are probably drunk. You got to understand that most of them are coming back from the nightlife. Many Nigerians want to have the same nightlife, but the question is, I was able to come back home without being harassed, even with those that were misbehaving. They got out on the bus to, at some point, I picked up the night bus from Trafalgar Square. Trafalgar Square was still like, at the early evening, the life was still bubbling, the buses were moving. The question is, can the new administration of Nigeria promise Nigerians of safety and security, which is paramount if you want to bring investors back into the country? Starr Radio UK, and that has been my journey. So I had a little bit of I couldn't do the school run, so I decided I will allow the wife to take care of that.
Well, he decided to allow the wife to take care of that, and that's exactly what he did there. So wherever you are, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, just bear with us, as I said, because we're having a bit of technical issue there, but we have the screen of Mr. Olayomi Hrh there, which our technical team are doing their best to activate it so that it becomes live. Okay, so wherever you are, don't touch the dial at all. Just bear with us whilst we continue to sort that out. But now let's come to Tinubu once again, where they said a report from the CBN case, the case against the Emefiele, has been presented to him. I mean, what are they talking about there, Yomi?
Well, it seems that the administration of Bola Tinubu really wants to go back into what transpired, because the central bank is where the central bank actually deals with the problems when it comes to managing the economy of the country. And if you remember that just before Tinubu came into power, during the campaign, it was bitter in a way that money was going to be changed at the very crucial time of the election. But the former administration believed that needs to happen to stop any kind of corruption. But were there corruption at the CBN? Was this something that the president now wants to do what we call a clean audit? I believe Emefiele would have to tell us as many things what transpired, as the governor is not the ex-governor because he has actually resigned for the new administration of the CBN to take over control. But are we going to see Emefiele facing charges? It seems that, as Emefiele is trying to avoid those charges, we heard that Ibori, the former convict here in UK that have returned back to Nigeria, trying to also, see if he can get a soft landing for Emefiele. But from looking at this right now, it seems that Bola Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the new administration wants to dig into whatever transpire at the Central Bank of Nigeria. I'll come back again to you in the studio. Okay, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Hrh in North London Studios. But what do you think about that? Well, if the president is going to go after the former CBN governor, Emefiele, in this case, is it that he's just trying to gradually rake in the former president as well? Well, I'm going to go to Yomi in a moment, but Omobolaji Abdullahi, good morning. So God bless you, sir. Archie and Mr. Hrh of Hrh Media and all your team in Starr Radio. We salute you. We thank God Nigeria has not happened to you. But Yomi, the question once again is the president trying to gradually, get Emefiele, maybe squeeze him a bit, and then he comes to say that, you know what, it was all the president's, the former president's fault that I needed to do that, because he cannot do things just by himself. No. He had to do things as per instructions from the door. They are supposed to be independent institutions, though. Yomi. Well, you're quite right. If Emefiele have to start, telling us what transpired, you've got to remember that many heads will have to be rolled over, the lottery here in UK. But I believe the current administration, as much as not trying to go into digging of the past administration, but if we're talking about billions of dollars, millions of, trillions of naira, that have been mismanaged at that administration, then I think many Nigerians would like to find out what actually transpired. So that is what I think, the president is trying to balance between his own administration, and many Nigerians want him to perform, and he has to also tell many Nigerians if he does not perform, I think he's preparing their mind ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Maybe the president will be able to perform, do what Nigerians are looking for, give accountability, justice, probity, name it. But well, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. In our North London studios, Mr. Olayomi Hrh. I'm Archie here in the South Studios. Now, Tinubu's 10 big lies. APC says Shaibu's falsehoods can't make Atiku president. What is all that about, sir?
Well, it seems whatever it is, Atiku is still trying to get ahead of the president. However, the news headline coming this morning says President Bola Tinubu 10 big lies. This is actually coming from the APC, says Shuaibu falsehood can make Atiku president. It seems that the All Progressive Congress has literally now assured the President Bola Tinubu is committed in ensuring an inclusive, honest, and transparent accountability governance system. According to the APC spokesman, Felix Moka gave the assurance in a statement that was issued in Abuja while reacting to comment by Frank Shoaibu, a former vice president, Atiku Abubakar media's aide, as the discerning people that we remain confident that the Nigerians will continue to differentiate between genuine, constructive, and development, and also criticism as well. Those driven by self-interest, it seems that many are saying that Atiku is doing what they call self-interest, but it seems Atiku says, no, I just want to get clarity of what transpired when the president, as at the time was a student at the University of Chicago. Atiku is not yet satisfied. He has taken his case to Supreme Court, and the other headline coming again from the same party are now asking if there hasn't been, whatever transpired. Yesterday we were telling you about the fire at the Supreme Court. The PDP is now saying that needs to be looked into if that is not a kind of a sabotage.
We didn't say that. We didn't say that during the morning show yesterday when we were doing the updates from Nigeria. Of course, we did, because for the Supreme Court to be on fire at this time, is it coincidental, accidental? Is it a sabotage? Well, the PDP wants it investigated. But the Senate is screening the CBN governor and deputy governor nominees. So what are we expecting with the picture behind you? Is that the new CBN governor?
Yes, the Senate and the House of Representatives will resume preliminary today after a 6-week annual recess with some money paid into the account. Oh, it's not money. It was actually prayer. The Senate has adjourned from August the 17th when Godswill Akpabio, the Senate president, told them to go on holiday with money being paid, but actually changed that to prayer. But today they have a lot of work to do. They've actually completed the 48 ministerial nominees. But today the Senate president will also announce the composition of 74 standing committee. The upper chamber will start its legislative duty, most importantly by a correspondent from the president who has requested confirmation of some appointment he made during the vacation. The appointment include Olayomi Hrh. Yes, that's the picture behind me. Who is the new Central Bank of Nigeria? What is he going to bring to the table? How is he going to turn things around so that the dollar will become a little bit, maybe just a little bit, because it seems that is actually falling. And if you look back to many analysis back in Nigeria today, when it comes to this new central bank of Nigeria, the most important thing will be the forex pressure. We talked about that Nigeria is now owing a debt of $10 billion. Cardoso faces Senate under FX pressure, and most important, loss of confidence.
Well, loss of confidence is affecting someone else, which I want us to talk about. That is the Ondo speaker, who is crying out that impeachment. He said, my life is under threat. Is he the one trying to impeach, or is he being impeached and he's saying that his life is under threat? Hear me.
Well, remember that the governor himself just returned back after spending taxpayers' money in Germany when he couldn't fix his own backyard medical hospital or general hospital, should we put it that way. So it's back on the ground. Maybe there were issues before Akeredolu, the governor of Ondo State, traveled to Germany on medical treatment for almost 3 months. But it seems now that an impeachment is now coming through. When we look at the way Nigeria is set up in terms of the constitution and those running the affairs from the federal, you're talking about the president, the vice president, then the Senate president. These are the three most important individuals. Then it takes the next level. When you come back to the states as well, you talk about the governor, the vice, the deputy governor, and then you talk about the Senate speaker or the speaker of the House. The question is, most times what has happened is, politicians that are not really aligning together. This is currently playing out in Edo State, where as much as even the Oba of Benin have intervened, But it seems that Obaseki is still becoming a loghead. He doesn't want to listen. He actually locked, his deputy away from getting into. I mean, imagine the governor locked you out as his deputy. You can't get into your office. That is how bad the situation is. So right now, Aye Datiwa have sued Ondo Assembly Speaker and also a threat to his life. The deputy governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aye Tadiwa, yesterday have dragged the State House of Assembly before the court over move to impeach him. How do they normally know that they're going to be impeached? That is when they fall apart with the governor. So it seems that maybe he was the one pushing narrative when the governor was not around. But according to the Assembly, last week at the preliminary commenced what they called impeachment proceeding against the deputy governor, acting on a petition accusing him of what? Gross misconduct. But we know that even if he has committed gross misconduct, the question is it something that links with the governor? Because most time you are likely to go after if you are doing something against the wish of the governor. Even some of them also pray that sometimes when people of that caliber are sick, they probably don't return, they come back dead. So it seems that the governor have returned back more stronger and is now doing what they called on-the-ground proceeding to impeach the deputy governor.
Now, interesting one there. Now, how is the deputy governor selected or elected into office?
It's all through the political party, the same party.
Yeah, okay. So
what happens is that, when there's a loss of confidence within the party, they can impeach him. So that means there must be a particular number from the Senate, from the House, to determine that impeachment. And when they are loyal to the governors, you are likely to be impeached, because even though that are your friends, will vote against you.
Now, it's quite interesting because when the governor was ill and was in admission or out in Germany for treatment, the issue was that things needed to be running the way they're supposed to. However, I think it wasn't working that way, and therefore, if you are indisposed and you are not active, then we can find a way to oust you. Now, thank God he's been able to come back. So I don't see anything wrong, unless he's done something else. That's why they are calling for his impeachment. You know what I mean?
Well, you're quite right. The moment, the governor returned back, like I said, after spending a good amount of time at Germany, where he was taking medical treatment, on his return to the country, he actually sacked the media team of his deputy governor. That was suggesting the beginning of trouble as well for Aye Datiwa. The House of Wednesday directed the clerk to serve him the petition on the embattled deputy governor, kicking off the process of his impeachment. But yesterday, Monday, he has now also gone to court to approach the Ondo State High Court in Akure, seeking an order to halt the impeachment. List of the defendants in the suit were the Ondo State governor, the governor of Ondo State, the Ondo State House of Assembly Speaker, the Ondo State House of Assembly, and the clerk. So the deputy governor, I think I mixed it up at the beginning, is the deputy governor that is going to be impeached, not the speaker. So it seems, I remember I did a program, calling out the governor, and I got a call from, those in that, the indigene, we have the indigene from different part of the world, and a call came to me and say, the deputy himself, wanted that same position. So his prayer was maybe the governor should die in Germany so that he can become, he will automatically have become the governor.
Yeah.
But it seems that Keredolu came back more stronger to now start the impeachment to take him out.
Okay. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Mr. Olayomi Hrh in our North London studios. I'm actually here in the South studios, and we are looking at updates from Nigeria. But before I'll hand over to Yomi for him to bring you all the other stories making the rounds, the federal government has revealed a program for the 63rd Independent Anniversary of Nigeria. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, who led the unveiling of the program yesterday in Abuja, said President Bola Tinubu had approved a low-key celebration inflation as a result of current economic realities. My apologies. The SGF assured Nigerians that the current government was working with relevant stakeholders, including the organized labor, to bring succor to all citizens. Speaking on the program for the 63rd, my apologies, Independence Day anniversary, Akume said the event started with a World Press Conference, a national broadcast by President Tinubu on Sunday, October 1, and a few things there. Now, scaling down the celebrations is Tinubu trying to be more real. That look, we don't have the money to splash the way that normally we would do. And therefore, Nigerians will, or as a whole, will say that, oh, well, this is somebody who is sensible. You don't have money to feed your children at home. You don't go out to go and buy some, limousine to say that you want to be driving. Yomi?
Well, Nigerian Independence Day, like you said, yes, it's going to be happening this weekend, Sunday precisely. I think that's the right thing to do. The country is really in a real control. Is in a real mess when it comes to the economy, and I don't think lavishing a good amount of money, celebrating the independence. The question that many have even asked is, what are we celebrating? 63 years of failure, 63 years. Some say it's too early for any kind of development. Should we want it? This was from the former governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi. Remember that he's the same healthcare that had bushes all over the place.
Yeah.
So he says it's too early to talk about growth in a country that is not yet matured. But this Sunday, 1st of October, Nigerians around the world will be coming out celebrating. Embassies around the world will have different plans. I know in UK I've attended in the past, event in different London borough from Barking. I think the London borough of Barking and Dagenham has a very good relationship with some of their constituency there. They do have a very good programs, and the same thing goes in Manchester. So we have to see what is going to happen. We might be reporting that on Monday, but again on Monday it's going to be a very busy one, because Monday is when Alison Madueke she will be brought to the court. Alison Madueke, right, the former petroleum minister, will be brought to the magistrate court in London. The Starr Radio UK will be on the ground to report from there, but we'll be giving you whatever the highlight from the Independence Day, from the diaspora back to Abuja, and most of the state as well. Probably I expect they will be doing something very, very low-key, because many Nigerians are facing economy situation as we speak today.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bring the time now to 20 minutes to 12, and I'm going to hand over to Yomi for him to bring you all the rest of the stories making the rounds. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, it seems the president is fighting everything in his hand, especially through his legal team in America, so that his own result will not be revealed. Let's take you through to a document that came from the current court proceeding, and this is just a conclusion. This is a response from President Bola Tinubu's legal representative by Christopher Kameka, one of his attorney. The most critical fact has already been clearly and unequivocally established by Chicago State University. Intervenor was awarded in degree as he stated, DKT 21, Exhibit 3332, page 2. This point is irrelevant to the applicant, because he is not seeking anything more than the opposition research on a political opponent. The magistrate judge clearly erred in granting the application for discovery and concluding that Chicago State University must respond to the document and the position as well. That conclusion should be set aside and the application should be denied, because the information sought cannot be used and therefore is not for the use in the foreign proceeding. You can see that the president is pushing everything, but it seems from the other side, they are asking, we must find out what happened. So Tinubu begs the U.S. court not to release privileged document to Atiku Abubakar. President Bola Tinubu yesterday pleaded again with the United States District Judge Nasir Maldonado to order Chicago State University to protect its privilege. Information such as admission record, transcript, gender, and release only his certificate to the legal team of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. It seems that Atiku doesn't want that just result. He wants the transcript, he wants to know the gender, and this is still becoming one of the most discussed conversations on the social media as we speak. I'm going to take you through one more and then go straight to the social media at 11:43. Vandals have destroyed 108 transmission tower, according to the federal government allege. Many Nigerians do tamper with some of this high voltage. I saw one last week where the young man have died trying to tamper with high voltage electricity. But it seems that a total of almost 108 power transmission towers have been destroyed by vandals across the country between January 2022 till September this year, according to the data that is obtained. Remember that we've been talking about last week that the grid continued to collapse, and when Nigerians and other criminal gangs are also tampering with such high voltage, you can imagine what could be the end of it. It was gathered that the vandals actually destroyed 132 kV double circuit power transmission line, 330 kV double circuit line, and carried out soil excavation that actually threatening transition towers, as the federal government described the development as sabotage. The question then again is, anywhere around the world, if electricity is being sabotaged, are we talking about Nigerians doing this? Are we talking about the same kind of crime that is happening when it comes to the terrorist attack in Nigeria? This has to be looked into. The vandalism of transition tower is not just in one state, from Abuja to Lagos State to Kano to Enugu to Benin region, though the government through the TCN have now contracted out repairs of some of these vandalized towers. So again, many Nigerians that are into this kind of, very, very, disturbing situation must also remember that it's also having a big impact on the country. Again, Lagos is still in the news as gridlock, as a petrol tanker, actually a petrol loader tanker gets stuck on Lagos Road. The reason why they get stuck is when the roads are not drivable, as Enugu State, one of the recently opened bridge, have collapsed. And the question is, whatever money has been used to borrow, we talked about that yesterday, a fully loaded NNPC tanker got stuck and caused traffic gridlock for travelers coming from Oju Odo Synagogue Church inward Ikotun area of Lagos State as the early hours of this morning. According to the last mile operatives that have now averted what would have been a major fire disaster. We were talking about Benin Republic yesterday, but the one in Nigeria is these tankers are driving, but the roads are not holding enough for them to drive. And like I said, while I was traveling on the London buses, most times, you compare the roads, especially when we're doing a live transmission and allowing people to see how the roads are. The roads are not very wide, but they are durable for those kind of vehicle to drive on. The question is, are the tanker drivable on those roads? And if they are not, what is the other means of making these resources to be available to other states, and then they can get the road fixed? But again, Nigeria do not have such money. Let's go straight to the social media. Once again, it is still Starr Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Again, this morning, there's a lot of discussion, and the most discussed, the number one, again, is Atiku at about 81,000. So you can tell that many Nigerians, even those that disagree with Atiku, really wanting to get that result out so that they can then start looking deep into it. Nnamdi Kanu birthday was yesterday. It's trending as well this morning. We know that he's still in the custody after being kidnapped by Buhari and Yemi Osinbajo from Kenya back to Nigeria. You would thought that a senior advocate of Nigeria, like the vice president as at the time, would have advised the government that you do not kidnap and rendition someone back at this 21st century. Again, Amode Sangodele, which is a nickname to the president, is also trending. The president says, I'm going to avoid the social media, but it seems that the social media is not leaving the president as well. And in the nutshell, most important thing is just many Nigerians want to see what actually and what transpired when the president, as at the time, was a student at the University of Chicago. Starr Radio UK, I'll come back again out to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Well, listeners, it is the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Updates from Nigeria with Ms. Olayomi Hrh in the North London studios. I sincerely apologize for the still picture that we are seeing, but God willing, after the program, it will all be reset. So God willing, tomorrow when we come on and during the Niger Voices, everything will be live and smooth. All right then? Yes. But Yomi, it's interesting. I mean, so if you are going to look for a job, let's say you apply for the CBN job in Nigeria. Now, can they contact your uni here for your all your details, or what can they do?
Well, yes, it is possible, but the question I think the president is doing is I've seen a lot of different documents that has been submitted. There was one I picked up. Let me pick it up quickly before coming back again to you, because I actually saved that, because you have to save some of these. This was an affidavit that was submitted when the president said that he was away in Nigeria from 1994 for 4 years up to 1998. Remember that he was also running for his life when the former military dictator Sani Abacha was trying to take every one of them down. And the question is, it seems that he says then, I was away from 1994 to October 1998. By the time I returned, I discovered that all my property, including all my document, has been, taken away. So if this document, as at the time, was not available, now that it's available, why is it not going back to the same Chicago and release every details? But it seems that something is not right. But we will have to wait to see what is right.
Well, listeners, it's quite an interesting development there. Was he born a man or a woman? A boy or a girl? Now, if he was born a boy, I mean, a girl, who knows? Well, this world that we live in now, we've got all sorts happening. So maybe he decided to metamorphose, as I did say, into a man. So, but let it come out. I mean, Nigerians are interested. Everybody wants to know what exactly has transpired there. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Yomi, before you go.
Well, sorry for the technical problem.